So let's look at worst case scenario. So when you're building an knee shield half guard game, just turn on the other way, bro. You're playing it. We want to be obviously thinking about basic frames and concepts of staying like a ball, staying tight, which we covered in the first drill. Obviously he wants to stay on the side. He does not want to give me head control, and he does not want to give me the underhook. But let's just say I managed to beat the knee shield, win the underhook, and I've got him here. Okay, and when, from Thursday night to Henry Aiken stuff, we can do stuff from this position. But now I've kind of messed up his whole guard. Probably from there I'll be moving my head to this side and starting to get my hips over the mat and starting to try and knee shield pass. Can be things I can be thinking about. Let's think about 3 pathways to deal when we're totally flattened out. Just move up there a wee bit more. So let's just say Cahill has beaten my knee shield and he's me flattened out. So first thing I'm thinking about is, can I get close guard back? So what, we just turn this way. So from here, I'm going to wedge with my right elbow beside his left thigh. And now from there I can plant my left foot on the mat. I'll be keeping him still in my half guard with my right foot, so I'm still shoelace to shoelace, or if he's just swum in a wee bit tight and I can't get shoelace to shoelace, I'm just hammering that foot in. So I'm controlling his right leg so he just can't step out from between my legs. So I'm going to use my forearm frame, and now I'll plant my left foot on the mat and I'll shrimp and I'll start to bring in my right leg. And then I can just basically pull him inside my closed guard. That's your first pathway. He doesn't want that. Why? Because if I have him in close guard, now he has to go back into trying to open my legs and get himself into that staging position to pass my guard. So he definitely doesn't want me putting him in close guard. He's halfway out of my guard, in half guard, so take it back a step. So probably what he'll do is, pathway 1 is, put him in close guard. So again, from there, I'll wedge. I bring my knee through, a hip escape, I just put him in close guard. But he will stop that by clamping his knee tight. So you just bring his knee in, but notice the way when he brings his knee in, his base is a little bit off to this side. So what I'm going to do from this position is called the okie dokie sweep. So from there, I'll just lean back with my arm, with my head, so he can't pull his arm back. My right hand's just going to drape. I'm not even grabbing pants here. I just make it that I'm not doing anything effortless or making an effort. So I just kind of drape this. Plant my left foot on the mat. This is the detail. I stretch and I move his head from the left side of my body to the right side of my body, and I bridge with my foot. Now when I come over, I don't want to be in the same position that Cahill was, because he can do the same move in me again. So I'm going to turn my hip, and we know now that he can still bridge from here, so I'll be underhooking this leg. We already covered this in the Henry Aiken stuff. And this elbow comes across the far body, and now I'm getting to the whole position where I can pass. If he hasn't, if I've tried to cross your ankles, if I'm here and he hasn't done that, I can then back step out and look for the pass. Let's look at that again. So pathway 1 is put him back in close guard. Pathway 2 is the okie dokie sweep. So he's got me here. I'll always go for the first one, right? But then he'll stop that by wedging. Notice the way when he wedges, his left knee is inside his right hip. Anytime that happens, hard to see it visually, but I can feel when he's clamping. He'll not want to let me bring my right knee through. So now he's susceptible to me sweeping him to his left. But he can post with his left hand, we'll look at that in a minute. Or he can widen out his knee again. And that's not the end of the world, because sometimes if I'm here, usually if it's in tight and I do this, try to widen it, it's just not going to happen. But if he did happen to widen it, I'll just go back into putting him back in close guard. So the links between getting him in close guard or the sweep is there. Let's look at that again. So we're here. So I wait till that knee comes in tight. Okay. My right hand just drapes at his knee here. I can just pretty much keep that inside. Lean back with your head. From there, right foot stays hooked, left foot goes in the mat. That's my bridge. But the detail is this. I just pop him and I'm coming up on top, and I turn my hip and immediately I win that underhook. And it just depends on what he's doing. Maybe he's still got his ankles crossed. Then we can start to bring our arm across back into the whole Henry Aiken style of passing, using our forearm to get our knee towards the mat. He'll probably push on my knee, and that can give me the underhook. Now I can start the knee slice and pass. That's pathway 2. Pathway 3 is he posts with his hand. Maybe we were here. He's got this in deep, right? I try to put him inside the closed guard. He clamps with his knee. I'm going to hit the okie dokie sweep. But maybe he wasn't super tight with us. Sometimes you get people, they have the cross face, but they're not like really super tight. I lean with my head. I'm about to hit it, but he just hadn't it tight. And then when I hit the sweep, he manages to pull his arm out and post. The minute he posts, that hand that was on the knee comes inside. The hand that was over his shoulder comes through, and I move my hip back, and I'm back into knee shield half guard again. So I've just got from this position, which was worst case scenario, flat on my back, to my knee shield, just with a reaction that he made off the okie dokie sweep. So the last one again is from that position. We just turn this way, bro. I go to hit that okie dokie sweep, I'm leaning back, hands in front of the hip, but now when I lean back, he just hadn't got this as deep. So the minute I bridge, he posts. Okay, that hand just gets inside position. It's now back into getting my frames again, which we covered in the first drill. I'll move my hip back because I want to be on my side and I want my placeholders. So again, from that position, he's going to try and hug my head and stuff and do all the stuff that we covered in the first drill. So, we'll play around with that. Worst case scenario, you've got flattened out, and then you are going down 3 different pathways.